Hey, sister cousins, it's me, Lady C. Come on in the room, girl. Let's talk about black cake. So, girl, we are down in Jamaica in the yard. Did I say it right? Girl, don't talk about my accent, girl, because I ain't got one, okay? So anyway, we are in the backyard. It looks like we're in the backyard of the property that Coventina's mom and dad own, right? And so she's picking juices and berries, herbs, I don't know. Anyway, next thing you know, she's going into labor. And she calls for Pearl. And so Pearl comes out, assists her with delivering the baby. And the baby gets here, just a cute little bundle of joy. And girl, she names her Coventina, which we find out means goddess of water. She ends up naming Pearl the godmother. I'm right. Anyway, so Pearl looks up and sees some type of fruit. She thinks it's nutmeg, but girl, it's some kind of fruit called manchineel fruit. I don't know, girl. Anyway, it's supposed to be toxic. In more current times, we have a sick Eleanor / Covey / she's getting ready to bake a black cake, right? So she has all the ingredients out. Byron walks in and he's like, Ma, what are you doing? Go sit down somewhere. You're not well. You need to chill. And so she's like, girl, I'm your mama, okay? I'm finna make this cake. And he's like, well, at least let me help you. She reluctantly lets him help. And then when he's starting to help, she's like, boy, move. Get out the way. I got this, right? So she gets started and she's like, you know what? I do want to say thank you for the last year because you've been a huge help with the sickness and all. And he's like, you know, Ma, you my mama. I'm always going to be here to help you. You know what I'm saying? She's like, well, I'm sorry I'm not going to be around to, see the next generation. But I do want you to pass this on to the next and the next and the next. Now we're in current times, right? And Bunny, Byron, Mabel, they are now in the kitchen. And no, Mabel's not there. Is she there? Girl, no, I think it's just Byron and Ben. Mama tells them to go in the freezer, thaw out the cake, and cut into it, okay? And share some cake. And so they go ahead and they cut into it. And girl, it's a whole jar in the middle of the cake, baked into the cake. And so they pull out the thing, and it's a picture of Mom, Dad, and Bunny. And it also has a flash drive. So she's pretty much telling them, like, I need you guys to go find, Miss Mama's, okay? And Mabel ends up going back to the hotel, whatever. And so Byron and Bunny is talking, and they're like, girl, we need to go find Bunny. And so they find her. And she's this world-renowned swimmer who's famous and wrote books and everything. So she's having a book signing. So they go to her book signing and they're like, hey girl, hey, nice to meet you. We're Coventina's kids and we want to talk. And so they talk and they have a little back and forth, not negative back and forth, but they come to ask her to come to the funeral. She's like, girl, I ain't coming to the funeral. Your mama left me for dead. I ain't fooling with her. All this whole time, she's been cool. And you mean to tell me she didn't even want to speak to me after? You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, because I feel her. Girl. So I feel her. So she grabbed her keys, grabbed her purse, and she walked out and was like, girl, I'm not coming to the funeral. So anyway, girl, they went on ahead and gave her the flash drive, and Bunny plays it on her ride home or back to the hotel or whatever. Covey is saying, I'm sorry that I've taken so long. She's, giving her speech, but she does express that she needs a little help, okay? And then we go back in time to Jamaica when Covey and Bunny were teenagers again. And this is around the time that Covey is getting ready to get married. And so Bunny and her are having this conversation like, girl, listen, no matter what, I know I'm a little effed up right now, but don't you give up on your dreams, okay? Promise me that you're going to go forward, be great, do all the things you need to do to get up out of here, okay? Because keep hope alive, all right? And so Bunny throws a Hail Mary pass, girl. She was just like, listen, I don't like this. But Covey is like sort of giving up, but I don't want to give up. So she goes to Gibbs, right? And she throws her Hail Mary pass and she's like, Gibbs, listen, we need your help. And he's like, girl, like what I'm supposed to do? Okay, I'm just a young teenage boy. Like what exactly am I going to do? This man is powerful. He's not nobody to trifle with, okay? So B&B is standing outside the church, and everybody's kind of, falling in for the funeral. And Byron's just not sure what to say, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot that they've discovered. And so Bunny is like, girl, well, tell him everything. Like, this is the time to, like, show. And he's like, no, Mom didn't tell us the truth until after her passing. So, no, these people don't know. Like, that was information for us, not for them. And he just looked very stuck. He didn't even want to mention that they had a sister. Like, he wanted to keep everything close to the chest, right? But let me tell you this whole time that I've been watching, and even though I watched it once before, like, once it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I may remember bits and pieces, but I really don't remember everything. So that's why it's like I'm watching it again with fresh eyes. Weird, but whatever. But girl, this whole time I thought they had the funeral already. Call me slow. Do what you gotta do. But that's what I thought. So anyway, girl, Mabel on the phone with her son, Giovanni. Is it Giovanni? Giovanni. Still lying, girl. He like, where you at? And she's like, oh, girl, I got, some business to take care of. Just lying. Just lying. Everybody in the family just be lying. Everybody. Byron. Does Byron lie? Okay, maybe not Byron. Maybe not. But everybody else. Then Lynette shows up, girl. So Lynette, God bless her heart. Because, girl, so Lynette shows up like, showing up. And Byron is like, oh, I'm so happy that you're here. And she's like, I mean, yeah, I'm always going to be here for the family. I love mama. You know what I'm saying? And so, girl, he's like, but we need to talk. And she's like, girl, it's not the time to be talking, okay? Like, let's just get through this funeral first. Because, I know you got a lot going on. She's like, not really interested in having a deep conversation, but he keeps pressing her. Girl, come to find out she's pregnant. And so he's kind of like looking forward to that news. And she's like, well, I kind of don't know if, girl, you mean to tell me you don't want to have this man's baby? Now, listen, I ain't mad at that because, girl, everybody ain't really worth duplicating, okay? But I feel like because she's just not sure if he's a solid enough person, she's probably just not trusting his being a father to her child. And that's a lot to consider. But girl, why are we doing all this now? Like, could we have not thought about that before? Anyway, yeah. So Benny's sitting by herself looking at social media to find out that Steve has a new victim, right? You know how you got that ex-boyfriend that you really know that ain't right, but you still check up on him anyway. You know what I'm saying? We all been there. And as her sister Mabel walks in, she sits next to her. And so she starts to share a little bit about her own personal life and how she was banned from the funeral for her not her ex-husband, but her deceased husband. And so Benny, she love a little gossip, girl. She a little toxic, okay? She love a little juicy gossip. She love to find out that other people are more messed up or as messed up as her, right? So Byron gets up to give the eulogy, but he can't. He's just too scrambled in the brain to really do anything because he just had so much put on him at once. Now that he finds out that his girlfriend is pregnant, that's just the straw that broke the camel's back. He just can't do it, right? So he leaves. Mr. Mitch ends up getting up, and he was a little confused on how to proceed with the eulogy, but he does end up giving a very lovely eulogy for Miss Eleanor / Coventina, right? So as Byron's walking out the church, we see Bunny pull up. And so Bunny pulls up. She notices that he's walking towards the beach, and she decides to go ahead and follow him. So as she gets down to the beach, he's just, in deep thought, and they have a bonding moment. They have a little chat, and she ends up bringing up 9 nights, right? And so 9 nights is supposed to be like a ritual to release any type of bad spirits, right? So he agrees to do 9 nights, and like I said, it's supposed to ward off any type of bad spirits, any type of bad luck. It's just supposed to be a nice cleansing, right? So now we're back home. We have Bunny, we have the 3 kids, and they're getting prepared for 9 nights. And 9 nights involves a nice meal, and you just share stories about the deceased, and you also share your duppy. That means like whatever thing that you're hanging on to, right? And so they ask Bunny about their mother, like, what was she like? What she kind of treated you wrong when she made you kind of keep that part of you under wraps. And so they wanted to know, like, how did that fare between them? And she says, well, girl, your mom was complicated, but she did make up for it. She took me on a nice magic carpet ride, girl, on a motor pad or bike or whatever. So that's kind of how they made up. Then Covey ends up apologizing. She offers to be a safe space for Bunny, right? And as you can hear Bunny speak, she speaks so highly of Covey, because at the end of the day, they were like sisters. Okay, maybe not sisters, because she kind of was crushing on her. So maybe not sisters. But they loved each other. They had a special bond with each other. So now Benny is just taking all this in. She's just loving this moment. She's like, I don't want this to end. Everybody's going to go back to their own lives, and I'm just going to be here kind of still. I went through that. My mom, God rest her soul, she told me as I was leaving to go home, she was like, you're going to go home back to your life, and I'm here. And I'm like, it's true. You want to hang on to those moments forever when you just are having a bonding moment, just a beautiful moment in time. It does feel like you don't want it to ever end, right? And she also says that long story long, girl, she has imposter syndrome, which is what Miss Mabel pretty much named it, where she feels like a fraud. Like, I don't have any direction. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I would do well. She's afraid of success to me. You know what I'm saying? And I can relate, Okay, so everybody's pretty much discovering their duppy, right? So we have Benny. She says that her duppy is Steve because she's still a little hung up on Steve. We have Mabel, who has the secret that she's hiding from her son. And then we get to Bunny. And Bunny's is the wedding night. And girl, the wedding night, we go back in time again, and now it's all being revealed. And she pretty much is like, listen, y'all are playing with me. Gibbs, you playing. Pearl, you playing. Dad, you ain't shit, okay? And I'm just gonna go ahead and take matters into my own hands because y'all keep playing. Now, Pearl did try to come up with a, idea to use that same toxic fruit that we find out is real, bad for you. She was gonna go ahead and make juice out of it, and then drop some of it into the wine for the honeymoon night. That was gonna take too long. When she realized that Pearl wasn't moving fast enough, girl, she took that vial and poured it into that champagne, girl. And then here comes the little man, drank the little stuff, and now he's gone to glory, right? Girl, she done killed that man. Girl, I forgot this whole time. Like, I'm thinking that I knew what was, girl. I'm literally watching this with fresh eyes. It is hilarious to me that I am just like this shocked, even though I watched it a year ago. Whatever. So, Gibbs did admit, we had a little like sidebar moment. Gibbs did admit that he showed up, but he was too cowardly to like do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just standing outside looking, and he saw Little Man give Cubby a kiss, and he was like, oh, maybe she does like it because she's smiling. She was like, well, no, I wasn't smiling. I was just trying to play along to get along. Okay, so that's what happened. So now we're back to the dinner table, and everybody's like, dang, I really wish we could have said a proper goodbye. And they're like, well, you know what? We still can say our goodbyes. And so they go to the funeral home, and they give all of their 9 nights items to Covey. They put it in a casket with her. And part of 9 nights, you have to give something that belonged to the deceased, right? And so everybody walks up, gives their items. And girl, when Mabel walks up to give her item, she realizes that they have the same hands. And it was just such a touching moment, because it was just like, dang, girl, like, I'm hearing these stories about her, but I'm finally getting to see her and really examine her, look her over, see what features we have alike. And it was just so heartbreaking to see. You know what I'm saying, girl? Like, girl, don't make me cry, okay? So, they all, they have this touching moment, bonding moment, and they finally say their final goodbyes. But what I did notice is when Benny walked up to the casket, girl, to give hers, she took it back. So I'm like, does that derail the bad juju? I don't know. So that, happens. Then the next scene, we see Benny again, and she has her guitar, and she reopens her YouTube, and she's like, girl, let me sing a song dedicated to the grandma, no, not Mabel, Matilda. She dedicates it to the grandma Matilda. She's like, wherever you are, girl, this is for you. And so she sings. She has a cute little voice. We switch over to Byron. He's now speaking on discrimination, I should say, in the field that he's in, and he's speaking on record to Mr. Mitch. So I'm assuming that they're either getting ready to file a lawsuit or something. I don't know. Mabel goes home, and she's, rubbing her son's head, and I'm assuming that she's probably going to tell him the truth once he's awake. But then, girl, she gets ready to play her special recording that was just for her. And so, girl, it's like, girl, how many secrets do you have, girl? So she's like, well, girl, listen, I know I put a lot on you, but girl, if you want to know who your daddy is, I'm going to go ahead and tell it, but just know it might be a little dangerous, okay? I don't know, but... And then we cut the scene. And now I'm pissed. Because y'all only gave us 8 episodes. And if y'all wasn't going to circle back or spin the block for us, y'all could have gave us a 9 and 10 to close everything on up. Because I don't understand why I don't know what happened. Y'all come up with these shows and only give us 1 season, okay? Y'all do these shows on books. Y'all really play right in my face, and I don't like it. All right? But what do y'all think? Did you like Black Cake? I loved it. I was pissed off at everybody at some point in time. I think the only person I wasn't angry with was Bunny. I think that's the only person I didn't dislike for a moment. Everybody else pissed me off at some point. All right. Okay, girl. Like, subscribe. Leave me some comments, girl. Put the notification bell on for the next thing, and the next thing after that. Okay. I love you. I hope you love everything that I just said. I hope you love the show. I'll see you later. Talk to you later. Bye.